So I always say that finding the right tenant is a lot like finding the right vehicle for you. You know, it can look good on the outside. You get in, it smells good, passes that smell test. It smells like a new car. It looks great. But then you look at that sticker and you see how much they've marked up that car or that truck, and you're just like, oh my God, this is not worth my time. I am walking away from this. This is horrible. It looks good, but it's really bad. Welcome everyone to the channel. Welcome to the video for today. My name is Zach here with Real Estate Talk. And my goal for you and for everyone that watches this video is to make real estate easy. Whether you're an investor, been in the game for a while, or whether you're looking to buy your first home, this is definitely the channel for you. When it comes to buying rental property, there's definitely a few things that you want to consider before buying a property. So let's hop right in and discuss a few things that you can expect before you hop in and buy a rental property. So if you're looking to buy your very first investment property, I'm going to put a video link down in the description that gives you 5 easy steps to buying your very first rental property. That's going to get you kind of prepared and kind of get you to this step that we're going to talk about now, of some other things that you want to consider before you actually pull the trigger. Okay, so the first thing, if you're buying a piece of property, whether it's a multi-unit, single family, whatever it is, if there's not a renter in there, don't expect a renter immediately. This can take some time to get. Hopefully you've done your due diligence and you know exactly what type of property you're getting. You know it's a good area. You know the rent for that house for that area is not too much. So hopefully you've done that homework. If not, watch that video that I post in the link or in the description, because that will definitely help you. But it can take a few weeks to find a qualified tenant, depending on especially the amount of rent you're asking for the area. And so remember that you're going to want to fully vet out your tenants before you sign them to a lease. You want to make sure they have all the income and all that good stuff. So that can take some time to find the right tenant for you. So I always say that finding the right tenant is a lot like finding the right vehicle for you. You know, it can look good on the outside. You get in, it smells good, passes that smell test. It smells like a new car. It looks great. But then you look at that sticker and you see how much they've marked up that car or that truck, and you're just like, oh my God, this is not worth my time. I am walking away from this. This is horrible. It looks good, but it's really bad. So once you have your tenant and that tenant has moved in, one thing that I want you guys to prepare for before you buy any rental property is prepare for things to break, because I guarantee you things can and will go wrong. But if you plan for it, it won't come as a surprise. If you have, money set aside, or you have a good warranty plan in place for appliances, whatever the case is, you got a good insurance policy. If you have all that stuff checked off, then when the time comes to use it, sure, it's going to be inconvenient. You got to deal with it, but you're not going to be caught unprepared for it. So a couple of examples of things that can go wrong out here in the South. Definitely the AC going out is definitely a huge problem. If you have a rental property and AC is a big thing that's used in your area, please get that serviced. I get mine serviced at least once a year. But even with that, sometimes things just happen. But the biggest takeaway from all this is to have money set aside for when, not if, things do happen to break and go wrong. All right, so another thing that I want you guys to check on when you're getting into the process and right before you buy that house or that apartment complex, whatever it is, double check to see how your bank structured the loan. Not all banks are going to structure it the same. And this is what I mean. I know some loans don't, they require, of course, insurance and things like that, but they won't set up a separate escrow account. So when you go to pay your mortgage every month, your money's not going towards insurance, your money's not going towards taxes. It's only going to the bank. So make sure you know that. I know very early in my career, I kind of got caught surprised by that, only just because I didn't do the due diligence. So that's something I don't want you guys to get caught up in. Double check. Ask the lender. Say, hey, do you guys have escrow accounts for insurance and taxes? If they say yes, it's up to you. But I like to set that up if they have it. If they don't have it, just remember you have to budget for that. And then at the end of the year, you got to pay the taxes. And then depending on your insurance, whether you pay them quarterly, monthly, whatever. But just remember to look into that. That can catch some of you by surprise if you're not careful. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Stop right there. Have you hit that subscribe button yet? It's right down there. All you got to do is click it. Have you liked this video yet? It's right next to it. Go ahead, subscribe to the channel, like this video. It really helps it out, helps my channel out, helps me get great content out to you. All right, back to the video. All right, so another thing that I want you guys to go ahead and check on before you get into a property, or even if you already bought it, but before you get some tenants move in there, understand how evictions work in your area. This can be definitely key. We don't want to evict tenants. I know we don't want to evict tenants. I know out here, we will try everything to work with that tenant before evicting them. We really kind of let eviction be like the last thing that happens, but understand sometimes it unfortunately does happen where someone just doesn't want to pay the rent. They just don't want to work with you. They're being uncooperative. And so you have to go through that process, but know how it works in your area. If you don't know the laws in your area, get with the real estate attorney now. Get with them, understand how it works, and a bit of advice, put that into your lease. Have a real estate attorney go over your lease and say, hey, are we good with how we've worded being able to evict someone? Every state, maybe even every county has different laws. So double check in your area to know exactly how to evict someone. You have to know how, you have to know when to evict. You got to know the process. Who do you go through? What paperwork do you need? So please double check it. Okay, so the last thing that I'm going to talk to you guys about is a big one. This one shocked me when I was first learning about investment properties, and that's knowing the difference between a condo or a condominium and a townhome. There are definitely some big differences that you need to know about before buying. So one of the big things is insurance. Insurance can definitely be totally different between a condo and a townhome. Now, if there's similar square footage, bedroom, bathroom, that sort of thing, it's probably not going to be a massive difference, but there will be a difference. There's going to be differences in what they cover, because the HOA may have certain rules and regulations that cover, certain things. So you have to check, what does the HOA, if there is an HOA, what does their insurance cover versus what yours cover, because you want to make sure everything is covered. You don't want maybe one little thing that could be major to not be covered. So another big area of difference between a condo and a townhome is going to be the loans. Loans on condos and townhomes are definitely different. Condos are significantly harder to get loans on because of the requirements that the lenders are going to have for condos. Usually, if you're an investor, it's super easy to buy them. They know you're an investor. You can go in, you can buy them all day. It's when you turn around to sell it. There's going to be a non-owner occupied limit when going to buy if you are not an investor. So as an investor, you go in, you buy a condo, make sure you know the percentage of ownership in the area that you're buying in your subdivision of non-owner occupied. That is going to be huge, because if you ever decide you want to sell and you don't have a certain percentage, you might not be able to sell to just someone looking for their primary home. So I want to say thank you to everyone. I've gotten a lot of subscribers recently, at least to me. I've gotten a lot of likes, a lot of comments. I really appreciate all the support. So remember, if you have any questions or you want to talk about anything real estate, please put it in the comments down below. And I look forward to seeing you all in the next video.